Hello. So Joshua here, and I just want to kind of address your quick questions. A lot easier than typing, making a video, right? So, what exactly is unique about some of the recent projects like Cyber Brokers, Gutter Cats, Corky's, Cool Cats, things like that, right? And why do they make their floor prices, or how does the floor prices do some of the insane things that they do, and some other projects that may be similar? It's it's a lot of different factors. You need to kind of understand that there's Ethereum and there's Solana, so there's two different NFT marketplaces. So Ethereum's pretty much always at the moment going to be the master, and you're going to see more liquidity over there, especially for NFT projects. So seeing NFTs sell for 10,000, 15,000 is literally the same as if you're on Solana seeing something sell for $1,000 and thinking that's decent. So it's the same principle over there. Not every collection on Ethereum is going to run up like that. It's just never going to happen. It's just many different factors, and it's kind of more like a social thing. If I was just to quickly tell you an answer, it comes down to also kind of who's in the collections with everybody else. So, for example, Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, they have people like Stephen Curry, I think maybe Shaq, um, who else? Plenty of other people as well, right? I could. There's probably a list of out there, easily 50 people, celebrities. Paris Hilton has one, for example. She was on Jimmy Fallon. I mean, not that she's really relevant in my opinion, but the point is um, these types of people are obviously going to help the market and help influence it, that sort of thing, because it's mutual for them at the same time. So it's kind of a funny thing. So there's like the Cool Cats Club. Look at who's in that. You have people like Farok. You have lots of women in there. You have lots of developers in there. You have lots of creatives in there. And so these people that are associated with some of the other projects, for example, CryptoPunks, um, what else is there? There's also like I can't think, but along those lines. So those communities go over, and they're basically kind of like just like our Discord group. So we talk about things obviously that is going on, and so these people that are in some of these other communities, they do the same thing, and that's kind of what happens with like the Cool Cats, for example. They're talked about all the time. Gary V's in Cool Cats. Gary V talks about them all the time. Gary V's in a lot of other projects too. So to be successful in NFTs, as far as trying to figure out, like, if you're looking for the next blue chip versus maybe what's establish so that way you can quickly analyze, comes down to, in my opinion, who's in the collection. So go to their Twitter profiles, see who they're following most likely. That's kind of important, because most of these NFT brands or companies and their Twitter profiles and things like that, they generally don't follow just anybody. It's just like being the next Sony, right? You don't just follow a whole bunch of small people. So you follow people that either have something to do with your brand, or work with you, you look up to, things like that, right? You want to learn from. And so look for like Cool Cats, who are they following, who's following them, things like that. So you'll start to see common names all the time that are familiar to you. I like following a lot of key players on Ethereum. Once I find them, I follow them. And then obviously I start digging a little bit more deeper on that. I start figuring out, well, who are they following and who are they interacting with? And those people interacting with them, what collections are they interested in? To be successful, I mean, you're going to have to treat this like a job. You have to take it seriously. Um, 8, 10 hours a day to look at Twitter is key in this space to be successful. And I don't know what network you're really on. I'm assuming Ethereum you're interested in. Um, and yeah, so you need to follow key players like Farokh. Not really Gary Vee, but he's good to follow, sure. Beeple's good. Um, Elio Trades, Alex Becker, um, Morgan.eth. Um, I mean, literally just like go to my profile and just start following some people with .eth names. That's how I would do it, to be honest. Um, yeah, so what else do we have here? And Gutter Cats is a great community. They're tied into like that scene as well. So like back in 2021, there's there's probably 10 good collections that we could say are more like blue chip today. And I don't know them all off my head. I mean, I'll be honest. It's been a rough week. But just I'm saying like CryptoPunks, CyberKongs, Cool Cats, Gutter Cats. That's four. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I'll do an update to this, but so and then the different factors of why like projects moon again it comes down to like the social aspects. So again, who's in those communities, and then like look at their discords. How are they vibing in their discords? Things like that. Are people in their communities growing? Are they starting projects? Are they involving those from the community in the projects that they're expanding? Things like that. That's what's so key about um, communities like what is it? God, I cannot think. It's not CryptoPunks, but it's Bored Ape Yacht Club. You know, to get in, what is it? The minimum right now to get one of their Bored Ape Yacht Clubs is about $250,000 to buy their NFT on the floor. But the thing about that collection as well is a lot of those people are in there are builders. So when you buy in, you have automatic access to like the private section and like Discords, right? You verify your NFT, and I mean you're basically right there in frontline access to like Stephen Curry and Shaq and Jimmy Fallon. He has one, I think. And there's plenty of other big people, again, who bought into that collection. And that's kind of where these things come. I mean, collections are not just PFP sometimes. When you think about the underlying social aspect, you're getting into like our community here is free and open, right? But we have a lot of talented people. So what's going to happen is we're going to have a section that's going to be like private. So when you buy into our NFT collection, when we launch, for example, then that's going to be like separate where we kind of start maybe keeping some information private and obviously helping out people that are in the verify section. Also, we can get automatic whitelist positions, so we can start dropping that into there. So instead of people having to work all the time for whitelist positions, boom, we just drop it there and they're automatically verified or something. That's also why you will see collections like Cool Cats and Gutter Cats be so expensive, or moon also because you're buying access to that information, and you're also again buying access to whitelist positions because that's what they help their community get access to a lot more efficiently than you having to go grind. And I don't know about like quirkies and cyber brokers. I'm doing a lot of building these days, so I don't have time to keep up with that. A lot of the older stuff I'm very aware of for the most part. But like Cool Cats, I think they got utility, right? They got like a nice DApp website. You go in, they got like a whole social thing. And so they're building out on their roadmap, and so is other things. I think Cool Cats is more just like um, just art, like PFP, if I'm not mistaken. So it doesn't have a lot of utility. But I mean, if you were like the founder, that's awesome because you're just, I mean, you really made it and you got a great thing, you got a beautiful thing. It's just art and organic. Um, and yeah, so and see what else you read here. Do they offer any other use cases or utilities? So I actually just answered some of those, and then the ones I don't know. And then let me give you some other ones. So CyberKongs, for example, I don't know what the floor is to get in now, but back in 2021, you know, July, October, June, somewhere around there, they were hype. So they had these things called banana tokens. So if you owned a CyberCon, you get something like 7 bananas tokens a day. And these things ran up in the actual token value on CoinMarketCap, something like $120 a piece. So they were giving out literally passively to their NFT holders something like $700 a day, which turned out to $30,000 a month, which was passively over $300,000 a year just by holding an NFT from thin air. And they're still probably getting you $10,000 a month, to be honest. I don't even know. I think it's probably $30,000 to $60,000 probably to buy into the floor one, maybe even $90K. So that's great utility, and obviously there's plenty of other NFTs that's kind of copy that model, especially on Solana. I mean, you have staking, then you have breeding. So with the CyberCons, I forgot to mention, when you have your bananas, that's why the coin was so valuable. It had an actual utility. One of the aspects was the breeding. So you take your bananas and then you have to get like, let's say 60 or 80 of them, and then you were able to breed an NFT. And then that NFT was able to be like staked and earn stuff, but you could also sell that NFT. And so those NFTs, the baby ones, were actually, the baby Kongs were going for like several thousands of dollars. And this was all free out the air. There's all types of utilities. I mean, the most commons are just staking, breeding, passive income. I feel like that's almost pretty much what I see on Ethereum. I don't really like play deeper on that. Then there's like Sandbox for the metaverse game, Decentraland, but those are kind of overly played. So a lot of people are more interested into NFT worlds, as well as Pavea.io. Those are solid plays versus like traditionally what the market's telling you to buy. And then there's like Altora. On Solana, some of the use cases of like the NFTs and applications that they're building is a lot of it's based around actually like gambling and like casinos and things like that. So that's cool. Just because the network, it's like a fraction of a penny, a quarter of a penny with the transaction fee. So they're just building a lot of applications. They're building bots over there to buy NFTs as well as like sell NFTs, track NFTs, floor snipers. So they have a lot of applications over there. And yeah, Ethereum projects, for them to moon as well, it comes down to like who's leading the project, who's the talented head behind it, who's the team behind it, because that all matters. Let's take, for example, a project called Neo Tokyo. This is ran by Alex Becker and Elio Trades. And so basically when they launched, the project was worth like $60,000 for your NFT if you were able to mint. The minting was like $2,000 to $4,000, I think, when it was all said and done. And then when the whole thing was launched officially, you had like 60 grand in your pocket. They also did some token drops, and that was worth several thousands of dollars. So great play overall. I think they helped people make easily over 200 grand from that collection. If you just held for about 3 months, you made about 200 grand from that. Did you hear about the ENS.ETH airdrop, for example, that happened last year in 2019? That was like in June. So basically, if you were trading on OpenSea and using MetaMask just in general on the network, even if you were using it on like decentralized exchanges like Uniswap, 1inch, things like that, other ones I like to use, you were actually rewarded by using the network. So they gave out airdrops of tokens, and overnight I basically got like 5,000 in free airdrop tokens. Again, power of Web3. Other projects are doing similar. Pavea, they had like their land sale, let's say last June 2019, and then they gave out tokens in December, and those tokens in January. For example, I had 25,000 of them, and so they were worth $5,000. So that means I got $5,000 out the air. And then I still have the NFTs, for example, and those are going to have utilities, yada, yada, yada. So another thing is like between projects to help them, why some Moon as well is sure like utility. What do they have? And then another part is like just about the arts, the artists, the leaders, the collection. You have another collection you can look into apocalyptic apes, something like that. Apocalyptic apes. You get what I'm saying. Um, they've done phenomenal. I think the minting was like 0.03 or something, 0.05 or zero 0.08. I don't know. I should have minted, to be honest. I think I was buying like the Play Colonists, the colony. But yeah, that project's done good. I think it's just about to 1 ETH floor. Play Colonist is another great Ethereum NFT project if you're looking for something that was kind of low key. It's so let me go back to Apocalyptic Apes. That's being ran and managed by a guy named 50.eth. You can find him on Twitter. He's a Bored Ape Yacht Club founder. And then let's go to Play Colony. It's owned by a guy named Slushy.eth. He's like 22 years old, and he's a Bored Ape Yacht Club original founder as well, holder, whatever you want to say. And so he's building out the metaverse with that. Like he has a collection, went from 2D to 3D, and tokens are coming out this year. Game hopefully will come out by next year, things like that. So it's a good, solid Ethereum project. If you look at like who all talks about it, who's in the project, following it, who's like been buying, who's just been accumulating, really it's just people who own Bored Ape Yacht Clubs. So like people from that community believe in this guy, they're buying into the collection. And so basically I think what's going to happen obviously is like whenever they're ready to start pumping it up, that's what's going to happen. So sometimes you have to buy into communities beforehand and so forth. Buying cool cats at something like, I don't know what they are, I'm just saying off my head, 4 ETH or 7 ETH floor. I mean, that's a risk for sure, but the upside's still high as hell too, just because you see some collections going to 15 Ethereum or 20 Ethereum floors, things like that, and it happens all the time. But the general rule when you're trading NFTs, especially when you're starting, is try to do the mints if you can. But there's a lot of risks in mints now. I mean, it's a cash grab, unfortunately, so got to watch out. You could really get your wallet your wallet drained by connecting to the wrong wallet. So you got the wrong website. So you got to make sure you understand these risks. But generally, when you're starting with NFTs, it's definitely like best to get in like cheap projects for sure. Now, if you can afford the blue chips, get into them for the most part, right? Not financial advice, but I mean, they're blue chips for a reason. They stand a test of times. The market's really screwed up right now. Crypto can't seem to make a leg up. NFTs are the only thing making people money, and yeah. So good luck with your endeavors. Hopefully this video helped you. I didn't make it too long. It's a lot longer than I anticipated, and good luck out there.